What they do? It's your little homeboy TLEE. I'm back in the building, Kickin the Bobo TV. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. What's good, my peoples? Shouts out to everybody who's showing me some love, giving me all the support, man, telling me to keep going. I see y'all, man, everybody, that's sharing the videos, that's sharing my posts, man, and really, supporting the kid, man. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, man. You know what I'm saying? That's much love. And whatever I can do, man, I'm going to try to get a lot of y'all on the show. I've been getting calls of people saying they want to get on the show and they want to talk some sports or whatever. They want to get with me. So trust me, man, that thing in the making. So just hold it down for a second and we're going to get this thing right. Again, it's your boy TLEE, live in the building, Kickin the Bobo TV. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Man, what the day is? The day Friday, Fed Talk Friday. Yes, that's right. The day I'm talking about that wall, behind that wall, because y'all little young jits, y'all still wilding out there. Y'all don't get it. You see what I'm saying? That wall for real, behind that wall for real, it's a whole nother life, bro. It's a whole nother life, man. And I'm trying to, educate you young brothers before y'all take that, that left turn and go in that direction. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let you know how it really go behind that wall. So today and each and every Friday, we're going to kick it off with that Fed Talk Friday. It is what it is. So, you know what I'm saying? When, like I say, back in my little heyday, I was doing my little thug-thism, you know what I'm saying? And I was able to, land myself in a situation where I had to sit down and do some time for a little while, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I ain't bragging on that or boasting on that there, but it is what it is. That's a part of my story, and I'm trying to turn my pain into a purpose. So I got to, there's no way I can avoid it. There's no way I can get around it, man. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into it, you know what I'm saying? So, again, once I got in, I was so discombobulated because when I got into the Fed, I was trying to see and think on how to get around these people, you know what I'm saying? Because, my back was against the wall, man. And I ain't never felt like that. I was at my lowest point in my life. I never felt that way, and that's a hard feeling. So I'm trying to tell y'all, you little young jits, man, before you get in that situation, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to preach a little bit. Now, I ain't really preaching. Let me say that I'm trying to teach a little bit on, how not to get yourself trapped up like I once was. But today on Fed Talk, I'm going to go through, how I was meeting a lot of hood celebrities while I was up in there, because while I was in there, that Fed's a revolving door. So dudes coming in and out, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to get on the pound, and once I got off the bus in Jessup, FCI Jessup, I was able to bump up into one of my long time, I'm going to say hood heroes, you know what I'm saying? And that was when I met Convertible Burt. Like I said, I had to check in with my shot caller. I showed him a PSI, let him know, hey, listen, man, I'm OG, thorough, TLEE, took them people to the door, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. They gave me what they gave me, you know what I mean? So, once I showed my shot caller, my paperwork, because that's how this thing got to go. Once I showed him my paperwork, he was introducing me to a lot of the guys, you know what I'm saying, from Miami, South Florida, in that Fed, really Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Broward, and Dade, we were all run together, you know what I'm saying? So we really just one, South Florida, we just one hub. But at the same time, Miami still is Miami, you feel me? So that is what it is. But anyway, so my homeboy, he was like, man, one of my partners I had them bumped up into. He was like, man, yeah, man, because once you get on the pound and you settle in and you get your little self situated, you got, you go through all your little orientation and everything, you start to go out there because everybody on the rec yard, you know what I'm saying? Once you get out there on the rec yard, you see everybody out there, they either playing cards, walking the track, you know what I'm saying, they have a little music out there sometimes. The feds ain't all that bad, but, you don't never want to be away from your family. But once I got on the pound, and everybody gonna come up to you, because especially if you thorough. If you thorough, they gonna come up to you, introduce themselves, you know what I'm saying, and let them, let you know who they is and where they from and all that there. So that's how that go. And then you y'all be able to congregate from there. You know what I'm saying? But one of my long time, I call him Big Unc. One of my long time, hood heroes I met up in there was Convertible Burt. Now I gotta take y'all way back because Burt been in my family, when I was a legit jitterbug, you know what I'm saying? Because Burt, he ended up messing with one of my aunties, you know what I'm saying? And they was doing their little thing for a while, and he used to come by to grandma house and all that there, when we was kids. So, he back then when Burt was Burt, you know what I'm saying? Burt had the Benzes, all that there, the big chunks and all that there. Yeah, I knew him when he was Burt, you know what I'm saying? But it's still, I was a kid, and that was my auntie boyfriend, so I was always, he was one of the guys that I used to see coming up, and I always used to say, boy, I want all that he got, you know what I'm saying? Because, he was doing this thug thing. I'm going to shout out to Convertible Burt. What's up, You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's happening? So, I was intrigued, you know what I'm saying? So what happened was, I had, the people that came and hit him, he called his little case back in the early 90s or whatever, and I ain't heard from him no more. Still, I was legit. I was about like 8 years old coming up when he was out there doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? Around 10, right up in that area, early teenage years, when he was doing this thing. So I was never able to walk the streets with him while he was doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? Because he had done got hit. And then, my auntie, you know how that go, man. Once you get hit, like I tell you, once you get hit up in them feds, bro, everybody, back off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? The only person you might have that stay with you is your old girl, if she's still living, or, your old boy, or however, whoever you got in your family that's going to stay down, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't. But I was able to bump up into Burt while I was at FCI Jessup. As soon as everybody like, man, come holler at Burt, man. Burt on the pound, I'm like, Burt who? They like Convertible Burt. I'm like, oh, yeah? They were like, yeah, he on the pound, he round there. Because Burt like to lift weights. See, one thing about Unc gonna put them weights up. You know what I'm saying? Unc still had his spunk and everything. You wouldn't, when I met him, he was up in there, he probably about like, in the mid-40s, whatever it was. And when I got with him, I was thinking, because, it's in your head, you think when you do all that time, these people break you down. But shit, Unc was still rolling. Unc still had his, he had his spunk. Unc still, sporty, talking his talk and everything. So when I was able to talk to him, he didn't know who I was because, I was legit back then when he was coming through the grandma house with my auntie them and all that stuff. So, he didn't know who I was. But just being a thorough dude, like I say, once you solid, you get with all the solid people, you know what I'm saying? So he just know I'm solid. So yeah, me and him got together, we talking and we chopping it up, because that's what you do when you get in there. You're gonna chop it up with a few people because people want to understand your story, your background, or where you come from, and what walks of life you come from. Even though you from Miami, you might be south, you might be north, you know what I'm saying, east or west. However, wherever you was raised, you're going to chop it up and see what's good. Man, when I was talking to Unc, man, Unc still had his spunk. I'm talking about like Unc was still, talking about Unc was still futuristic, like talking about Bentleys and Maseratis and all that. I'm like, Unc, boy, you still got it, huh? Unc say, boy, these people ain't finna change me. For real. I'm gonna do this little time, but I'm getting back out. And when I get back out, I like nice things. I said, boy, I love that about you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't giving up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gave up. I'm saying, well, hell nah, I can't give up. But when I was hollering at Burt, you know what I'm saying, inside I felt a little sense of relief because, like I say, that was like family to me when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So I end up running down to him, my auntie and all that there. He was like, oh, God. And then everything came back to him. And, it is what it is. But like I said, with Unc, man, Unc was running the yard. Unc was doing his thing, man. Unc still, still a go if you want to rumble with still will go with you. You know what I'm saying? Was like a jitterbug, but he was old. You know what I'm saying? So when I got with him, it was just, like I said, it was a sense of comfort just to be around him, and because I ain't seen him in so long. And then again, when he seen me, I was legit. And we were chopping it up, and we was doing our little thing, and everything was all good. And like I say, by me being in the law library, was coming through there, man. We used to have great talks about, back in those days, and one of the topics we touched on was him and Mike Tyson, because honestly, from what I know coming up, he was the first one when Mike Tyson was doing his title thing. He was the first one that brought Mike Tyson to the hood. And I remember that when I was younger, because all the talks, man, Burt had Tyson on the hood, Burt had Tyson on 15th, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Because, if you from Miami, 15th Avenue, if you know by 15th Avenue, we ain't got to talk no more, you know what I'm saying? Because 15th Avenue was the hot spot back in the days with Uncle Al in Sugar Hill, and all that there. And then you got, the whole 15th was jumping. I'm talking about jumping back in the days. And then Burt was, that was Burt the Hole. So Burt was running that there at one time before. So we was getting into all that there. But one of the things I asked Burt, I say, man, Burt, man, how you met Tyson? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you met Tyson at the height. Like, how you was able to do that and, like, pull that off? And this is the story he told me. He was saying, little nephew, he say, listen, man. He said, I was so flamboyant out there, man. I was the first one with convertibles, you know what I'm saying, riding through the hood. And I was like, yeah, boy, I've been heard all that there, you know what I'm saying? You're a street myth to me, but, you know what I'm saying, I've been heard all that there. So he was like, yeah, man. He say, so what I did was one day, he say, because that's one thing about it, boy, if you get the money, all the ballers at getting money. And one of the spots that all the ballers from every state go to or was going to back then and probably still do is them fights, bro. If you got you some money, I'm talking about big time money, you gotta go to them fights, bro, because that's, them boxing, they don't have boxing too tough like it used to be, but them heavyweight fights, them big fights, that's where all the drug boys and the big boys come out to play. And they come out with their jewels and the furs, and then, them boys out of Detroit, they like them furs and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They come out and they have a good little time, splurging. So what Aunt saying was, man, me just being me, you know what I'm saying? I was out flamboyant. I had my jewels on. I got, my rollies and all that. I got all this before these young dudes knew about all this here. You know what I'm saying? He said, I had it on in the 80s. And Tyson, he say, man, Tyson, he was in the same hotel with Tyson or whatever, on the same floor. And he say, man, Tyson just looked at him and say, man, where you from? And I know because Burt was the #1 stunner. But before Burt, man, Convertible Burt in Miami was the #1 stunner, from what I know. But wasn't no stunner better than Burt, you know what I'm saying? So he was saying, he had a jewel, he was doing his thing, walking up the hall, finna go to the fight. And Mike Tyson stopped him. And Mike Tyson, some kind of way they bumped head. And Mike Tyson was like, man, where you from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was just intrigued. Mike Tyson up there from New York. So, they do their little thing up there. But, that down south, that bottom flavor, man, ain't nothing like that Miami flavor, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care where you at, man. You gonna recognize that them boys from the bottom, man, because we do things totally different. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think, Tyson was intrigued with. Like he said, Tyson was intrigued, with his dress code and, how he was carrying himself. So he say Tyson stepped to him. Like, man, what's up, man? Man, I like your style or whatever, man. Who you is or whatever. He said, man, I'm the world famous Convertible Burt. How he that boy that run that thing down too. I'm talking about he got that thing down pat. I'm the world famous Convertible Burt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to myself like, oh yeah, still got it. When he was talking to me. So, and what happened was he was saying they ended up building a bond or building up a relationship just based on him being at the fight and you know, and just doing his own thing, Tyson recognized it, and you know, they built up, you know, a pretty good friendship. You know what I'm saying? And from what he was telling me, him and Tyson still good on some points. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. But that's what he was telling me. And then I could believe everything he was saying because I did not meet Tyson myself, but I seen him riding through the hood, man. I used to see Tyson all the time. In fact, down there in that grove, man, you got something called the Mayfair. And back in the days, the Mayfair was the big spot. I was telling you about the Mayfair. That's what it was, a hotel, but it was, you know, if y'all been to the Improv and all that, y'all know about the Mayfair and the Cocoa Walk and all that. That was a big thing. And I told you a lot of celebrities used to come through there. One of those celebrities was Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Tyson used to come through the Mayfair all the time. He used to ride his motorcycle. He had them big Harleys back then. He used to ride the big Harley coming down Grand, going to the Mayfair and all that there. So when we was kids, I'm saying like again about, you know, when Burt used to bring him down or whatever, I guess he used to come through the Grove or whatever in his Harley. And what Tyson was doing, and shouts out to Tyson for this, man, because I never forget this, man. And I'm 40-something years old. And I remember when you used to come down to the Grove and go to the Mayfair, and what Tyson used to do is, if you was in the Mayfair, because the Mayfair had a Foot Locker, and this the time when do the right thing when Spike Lee and all them was out, don't step on my Jordans. Remember that phrase there? So this was the time where Jordans was the big shoe. I'm talking about if you had a pair of Jordans, you was the man. So what we used to do as kids, we knew the Mayfair always kept the newest Jordans, and this back in the, like I said, the late 80s, we'll go up there, and what we'll do is we'll just go window shopping, because, you know, we kids, we ain't got that kind of money for no Jordans, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know, mama ain't buying no Jordans, mama ain't buying nothing but some, you know what I'm saying, some Reebok Classics and all that there. So to have a pair of Jordans, you know, that was the thing, especially for us, man, back in Miami. So what Tyson did a few times, I heard, was if he was, because he used to shop at that Foot Locker. So when he used to be in town or whatever, and he go to the Mayfair to that Foot Locker, all the kids, because not just me and my little crew, you had all the kids from the neighborhood used to go to the Mayfair and window shop at this Foot Locker with all the Jordans. So if Tyson caught you in there window shopping, he would buy you, like all the kids, a pair of Jordans. He did that for a few kids around the hood. I just personally never caught him. I used to go up there all the time, and I hope Tyson come this time so he can buy me some Jordans. But Tyson never came while I was going up there window shopping. But it been many occasions when Tyson was in town, and like I say, shouts out to Tyson because I remember that. It been many occasions when Mike Tyson was in town and he used to go to that Foot Locker in the Mayfair. Mike Tyson used, whatever kid he see in there window shopping, black kid, he see in there window shopping, he gonna buy you the pair of Jordans you want. And that was like, that was almost like winning the lottery. We used to try to go up there and see if we could time him, if he can get up, man. And I'm talking about, you can hear the boy, Tyson in town, boy, he might be going to the Mayfair. And everybody try to run up there to the Mayfair and see if we could catch Tyson so we can get a pair of Jordans. But I never caught him. But I knew a couple of dudes that did. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can say about Tyson, man, he's a giver, man. He always gave to the hood. Wherever he was at, he gave to the hood, man. He wasn't stingy or nothing, man. I'm telling you, Tyson a good dude, man. And like I say, shouts out to you, Mike Tyson, man, for being the person that inspired me, you know, along the way, because I was a huge fan of Tyson, you know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of it was because when you came to the hood, you did that, and that circled around the hood for a long time, man, as I was growing up, man, until, you know, Tyson kind of fell off a little bit, and then, you know, things happened with him, with his career. But while he was at the top of his career, man, Tyson used to be riding around the Grove in a Harley, man, buying kids Jordans, whatever you wanted, man. If you could catch him, you got it. But it was hard to catch that boy, though. I ain't gonna even lie, it was hard to catch him. But Some people would get to him, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't catch him though. But I was just saying with Burt, man, one thing about Burt, man, Burt was doing this thing, man. And I used to hear about Burt, I'm talking about even when I was going to Atlanta, man, doing my thing up there in the A, Burt name still was ringing up there in Atlanta, man. Burt is a real dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And shouts out to Burt. I'm gonna tell you, man, while I was in that feds, man, I was able to bump across a lot of good dudes, man. And a lot of dudes you wouldn't even believe. You know what I'm saying? I was able to meet, especially doing law work, because everybody want to go home. And one of the guys I met doing law work was Fabio Ochoa Vasquez. Now, if you watch the Netflix series Narcos, Ochoa Vasquez, that is the character of Fabio. The character on Narcos, Ochoa Vasquez, is portraying Fabio. And I was able to meet Fabio personally. He used to stay in the law library, you know what I'm saying, trying to go home or trying to just find that loophole. But Fabio, man, when you meet him, he's a cool, laid-back guy. I'm talking about he don't say too much. Like he's very, when I encountered him a few times, I always noticed he was very quiet. You know, he liked to read a lot, you know what I'm saying? But one thing that I did know about him is he had a lot of power. Fabio Ochoa, part of the Ochoa brothers, drug kingpin from Colombia, he had a lot of power in there. When I'm saying power, I mean, forget, he ain't too much, the American, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, the American dudes, he ain't really too much deal with like that there. But with those Colombians that was in there with us, man, they'll wash his clothes, they'll wash his dirty drawers, man. I'm talking about they'll iron his clothes, shine his shoes. Fabio was living good in prison. Real good. Short guy. No, not even built, like slender, slim, fragile looking. But the dude had a lot of influence and a lot of power, man. A lot of influence and a lot of power. And so when I met him, we was in the law library, and everybody was, saying, man, Fabio on the compound, Fabio on the compound. So when I met him or whatever, again, he was working with, one of the guys in the law library that worked with us closely. And Fabio was trying to, just see what happened with his case or whatever and see if he can, find a loophole. But Fabio was one of the biggest drug dealers that America has seen, along with his daddy and his brothers. They was in control of Griselda Blanco or the Cocaine Cowboys. They was in control of, Pablo Escobar. Fabio had a lot of power. When you're talking about being over Escobar and Griselda, Fabio was the man. But again, like I say with Fabio, you know what I'm saying? He didn't carry himself. And that's one thing I can say about them big boys. They already know who they is. Like, they don't got to carry themselves a certain way with all that weight on their shoulders, like, trying to stunt on people or whatever, man. These dudes be respectable dudes. They hi, bye, sir, okay, sir, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? These be respectable dudes. When they talk to you, when I was talking to him, it was more like, okay, sir, yes, sir. He talking to me like this. You know what I'm saying? All right, sir, okay, it was a respect. It was a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he came at you, it was all about respect. He not going to come rowdy. He not going to come, loud or obnoxious or whatever. When Fabio come to you, Fabio comes cool, calm, and mild, and respectable. And I got to give shouts out to that because, like I say, going through that feds, man, you got all kind of characters up in there. Everybody drug kingpin. I was used to be saying, boy, it's so many chiefs with the Indians. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to be an Indian. Everybody a chief when they get up there in them feds. I need to know where all the Indians at. You know what I'm saying? Everybody the kingpin. We're the workers. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody a kingpin. But like I say, that was one of my experience with Fabio Ochoa Vasquez. You know what I'm saying? I was able to meet him. In fact, I was able to actually talk to him a lot because Fabio used to stay in the law library. In fact, I think he's still at Jessup FCI right now. They gave him like 30 years or something like that there. He had done caught a case or whatever, conspiracy case or whatever, and he got like 30 or whatever. But man, that was one of the coolest, laid back Colombians or whatever dude I ever met, like big time Colombians that I ever met, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you're going through that feds, like I said, when you're going through that feds, young Jet, you're going to able to see some people, man, because everybody in there together. You know what I'm saying? They don't hide it. Everybody is in there together. So I was just saying on my little walk, my little journey through the system, these are the people that I had bumped up into. You know what I'm saying? But legit, that was just that there. That was just a couple of stories. I'm gonna tell you about these feds, man. And if you out there selling that stuff, like like your grandma say, you out there selling that stuff, they got some things out there, man, called ghost dope. Now, if you don't know about ghost dope, because some of y'all be out like, oh, them people they ain't gonna catch me touching nothing. I'm behind the scenes. I'm just picking up money. That's all I'm doing, picking up money and dropping off. They ain't gonna never catch me with nothing, But bro, they got something called ghost dope. And it sounds like what it is. So let's say, I'm going to just break it down to you how ghost dope can be put on you. So let's say you saying what you saying. You saying, man, I ain't touching nothing, man. I ain't doing nothing but getting in front of the plug, dropping into the trap, picking up the money, and I'm good. As long as they don't catch me along the way, they'll never know, you know what I'm saying, what's good. You know what I'm saying, with me. That's not true, brother. I'm here to break it down to you, brother. As long as you in that game, doing whatever, I don't care if you picking up, dropping off, whatever you trying to do and try to disconnect yourself from that game, it ain't gonna work, Jet. You know what I'm saying? Because they got something called ghost dope, basically on these conspiracies. What I'm saying is, if you doing what you say you gonna do, you just dropping off, picking up money and controlling the trap from, out of town, you and your girl, y'all in Bahamas, but you calling the lieutenant, hey, boy, everything good, and he running it down to you, everything good, boy, enjoy your trip. You and your old lady and all that, then you splurge, you feeling good because you got the trap bumping. Now you get back, you know what I'm saying, and shit hit the fan and the feds come in. And then y'all get hit with the conspiracy, you and your little crew. Now, in your mind, you probably say, oh, I'm good, but them people ain't got me with nothing. I ain't on no cameras, I ain't on nothing, because they ain't touch. I bought my LT was doing all that there. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't touched nothing, boy. I was smart. Nah, you wasn't, brother. No, you wasn't. Because when you get caught up in them conspiracies, Jet, what they gonna do now, they gonna get all your peoples. They gonna round y'all up. They gonna put y'all behind that wall. And then, I don't know how thorough your little young dudes is, but it's gonna start, especially if they rumbling and they rapping to the peoples, they gonna start piecing stuff together. And when they start piecing it together, they gonna see that it almost leading to you being the big man. And you, like you say, you ain't get caught with no dope. You ain't get caught on the road. You ain't get caught doing nothing. You ain't caught on the phones or nothing. They ain't got nothing, but somebody probably in your conspiracy saying, hey, man, we used to grab from him or he was coming through grabbing or whatever. All word of mouth. They ain't got nothing, bro. But they got this thing called ghost dope. And what ghost dope is it can come two ways. I'm gonna explain both ways though. With ghost dope, let's say you get caught up in a conspiracy, and during the time frame of the conspiracy, this how much dope they say, you know, because dudes go in there talking and everything, and then they go in there watching dudes. And one thing about these folks here, boy, you could say I was serving the key. We'll get into that later. But you got what ghost dope is when somebody said they was buying this amount of dope from you at a certain amount of time, for a certain time length. So let's say if I was to get caught up in the conspiracy, and then I got my little young ones, even though I ain't get caught with nothing, I ain't get caught on the phone or none of that. It's just they just name dropping. And I get caught up in the name. What's ghost dope is when they talk to the people, you know, their informers or whatever, and whatever the informant tell them how they was buying dope from you, because they gonna ask the informant, hey man, how many times you brought dope over here in this trap? And they gonna say, oh man, I was going every day buying, you know, 2 keys a day. Because that's how I was bumping like that though. They gonna take the time of the conspiracy, even if the conspiracy was 30 days, let's say you got caught up, it's gonna take longer than that, but let's say you got caught up in 30 days with a conspiracy that lasted for 30 days. They're gonna take dude's statement, and dude gonna say he bought 2 keys from you every day for, you know, so they're gonna say, okay, well, the conspiracy was a 30-day conspiracy. So we're gonna go 30 times 2. And that's how many kilos you're responsible for. Now, mind you didn't get caught with no dope, no nothing. It's just dudes talking, saying, okay, well, he bought this amount of dope from you, you know, at this specific time for this specific amount of time. So what they do is they multiply that. They say, okay, well, you say you bought dope for 30 days from him, and you was buying 2 keys a day. So that's 2 times 30. So now you responsible for 60 bricks. Ghost dope. 60 bricks that they ain't never got. That's ghost dope. That's just dudes talking. And they gonna sentence you, and your conspiracy gonna be based on that 60 keys of cocaine that dude say he bought from you that they never got. So then you can't out-slick your way through this thing, man. These people's on top of everything. And then they, like I say, they put dope on you. So now I'm going up and I'm saying these people ain't got nothing. And then one of my little people's fold and told them what, you know, how the operation was going, or what he was what he was buying from me. Now they just multiplying it all up. And that's how you get ghost dope. I'm gonna tell you a story I read. You know, I was reading the case and I came through, man. And this was crazy, man. Cause some dudes, I don't know, man, some dudes get in the game, man, and they get in it for the fame. You see, when I was in the game, I was in it for the change. But you got some people get in the game for the fame. And this dude that was told, he got in it for the fame, because what he did once they got jammed up, him and his little peoples, this is a case I read. Once they got jammed up, when you get jammed up, he started talking to you, because once you're doing your PSI and all that, you know, that's some paperwork. They just trying to, you know, that's going to describe your case. And, you know, the PSI is everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to describe your case. You know, you got to talk to these people, tell them, they're going to ask you questions and all that. All that's going to be put on your PSI. So what dude was doing, he in there bragging. Oh, yeah, no, when he talking to the people. Oh, nah, boy, yeah, I used to get 2 keys, you know, every Friday, you know what I'm saying? For like 2 years, boy, I was doing my thing. This how he talking to the people. Yeah, I was doing my thing at one time, man. I was booming. I had that thing, I had the trap jumping. So them people just sitting there listening and writing on their little notes, because everything you saying, they gonna write it down. So he think, in his mind, he done got, like I say, he done got sporty. In his mind, he think he telling the people, you know, like how he was a big kingpin. Now, mind you, I heard dude wasn't nothing but you know, he was a low man, but you know, he got up and down like, you know, he was a kingpin. So he went to talking to the people like he was a kingpin. Like, hey, yeah, man, I was getting two keys a day, you know what I'm saying, for like 2 years. So what them people did was they said, okay, you was getting 2 keys a day for 2 years. So what they did was 2 keys times, you know, 2 years, I guess, what that would be like 700, and, you know what I'm saying, 700 and something days. So that's what they did. They had 700 days times 2 keys. And whatever that number was, that's what he gonna get sentenced off of. And that's how he ended up catching a life sentence doing that. So sometimes the way you talk to these people can get you a life sentence, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up catching a life sentence for that because when he went to court and they would say how much drugs he was responsible for, you know, based on what he told the people while he was they was doing his PSI. You know, that's what was on his PSI. It was like, hey, he said he bought 2 keys a day for 2 years. So that's what he's responsible for. 700 and something days times 2. You know, that 1,400 keys. That's what he's responsible for during the whole length of this conspiracy. Now, dude come back to the unit, he's sick. Nah, but you got to watch what you saying to these people, Jit. Don't go up in these people room bragging. I'm telling you, don't go in these people room because they got this thing called ghost dope. Another situation that bothered me, man, and what the feds was doing, man, that really bothered me, man, because now I just really feel like this was wrong. This wrong off the top, man. And that's them stash house robberies. Whatever you do, young Jit, please, I'm begging you, please, don't get caught up in the stash house robberies. What happens in the stash house robbery is this all orchestrated by the feds, y'all. So I'm telling you now, I done read cases and cases and plenty of cases. Matter of fact, I done had cellmates and all that got caught up and jammed up on that stash house robberies. So what happens is, if you on them streets, man, and you living by that street code, man, remember this here. If you got anybody that come to you and say, hey, listen, man, boy, it's 100 bricks around the corner in the warehouse. All I need is a few good men. We can go in there. We could, you know what I'm saying? It's a smooth robbery, man. And I got everything. I got the guns. I got the rental car. I got all that. You better quickly say, nah, bro, I ain't into that. Nah, I don't do that. Nah, I'm good. Because that's the feds. What the feds will do, they'll set you up. And when I mean they'll set you up, they will get somebody that you know from the streets and entice them, and they'll go to him, and like, dude might not be so street savvy. He might not, his antennas might not go up. All he thinking about is a big lick. He want these 100 bricks that they talking about. He want to shine. He want to stunt. He want to go to the jam, you know what I'm saying, in the Bentley with the big boy. You know, he want to ride amongst the big boys. So that's all in his mind when these people coming to him. So he ain't thinking. So the people come to him and say, he don't notice the Fed. He just thinking this average dude talking about, you know, they gonna come to him like, oh, yeah, man, I know something about, man, some keys in the house, man. You want to help me get them, man? We can split it, right? So dude might come and say, boy, it's 100 keys in this warehouse over here, man. And I think, just to stop, I think Buju Banton got caught up in that same kind of conspiracy. If you go back and check why Buju Banton went to prison, federal prison, I think it was because of the same thing. I'm not sure, but go back and check his case. It's something similar. What happened was they're going to entice somebody out of your clique, or they might come to you. Somebody that you don't even know, man, and they're going to come to you and say, hey, man, it's 100 keys in this warehouse. I need help robbing these people. You know, the Colombians, they don't, you know, they be going. I've been scoping it out so we can do this thing right, and man, we can come out clean with no face, no case, like type of deal. So what they'll do is, they'll entice somebody from the street, somebody and tell them, man, you're going to need like 5 or 6 people, man, to go up in there, because even if we go up in there and get them 100 keys, these the Colombians, we might face, a harsh encounter if they there. But we going to need guns, rental cars, all that there, because we finna hit big. So what the feds would do, the feds would actually do this. They would go out and rent you a car. They would go out and buy you some guns. Or give you some guns. What they want you to do is, they want you to go recruit some friends of yours that's on that. Especially old niggas, ain't doing too much, but they straight rob, and that's what they do. They rob, and that the feds call that you got a propensity for violence. You know what I'm saying? So you got them old niggas on the street, they ain't got nothing else to do. So when they hear a big lick like that there, they ready. That's who their feds trying to pick up. So when they'll come to a dude and say, man, I got 100 keys, I got the rental car, I got everything set up, man, it's in the warehouse right there. We got to just go scope it out, go do it, hit the lick, and it is what it is. We're going to split 50-50. So what the dude to go back here, come back and come try to recruit you if you own that. Or recruit anybody, hey, man, boy, I'm bumping up. There's some people, boy, they know what they know what 100 keys at in the warehouse. Boy, come ride with me, man. We ain't got to do nothing, man. All I need, I got the guns. I got everything. They gave me everything, man. All we got to do, man, is you just got to just be my protection, man. I'm going to go off in there, and I'm going to take everything, man. You ain't got to do nothing but just sit in the car with the guns and make sure nothing don't happen to me. So he might round up. This dude don't even know who he talking to, but he act like he do when he talking to you. He might round up 5 or 6 people to ride with him, or, whatever the car can handle, maybe 4 people to ride with him. And all y'all got guns, all y'all strapped to the teeth. Because the feds done provided you the guns, they done provided him with money, they provided him with a rental car, they even provide you with a hotel, a phone, and everything to pull off this scheme. Like again, the dude don't know these the feds. He just hungry for money. He ain't thinking. He just bumped up into a dude who thinks sincere and trying to put him on a lick. But in actuality, it's the feds. But that same dude could come to you trying to recruit you and tell you, hey, listen, man, it's 100 keys. We're going to split it. I'm going to get 50 of them, and then I split, 10 with you, 10. We're going to split it, 4 ways out the 50 keys. So now you ain't doing nothing on them streets. You probably saying to yourself, boy, that's a quick little lick. Boy, I need that right now, boy. Baby needs shoes. You know what I'm saying? Wife crying about these bills. Boy, I need me some quick cash for real. Let's do it. Young brother, I'm telling you now. Soon as you jump in that car, you're a goner, bro. You better not get in that car and ride to the warehouse, because it's going to be a warehouse they show you. You ain't going to never see the keys. You just they might ride the dude by the warehouse and show him the warehouse. Like, boy, see, they up in there. When we going to come back later on tonight, and we going to grab them things, because they be sleeping. They be going to the club and all that there, and they don't think nobody know it's up in there. But I know it's up in there. This is what the Fed telling the dude. So, man, just get your little crew together, and y'all gonna swing back around when they leave, and we gonna go and hit them. It's gonna be smooth, quick. Young brother, soon as y'all get in that car, that rental car, and y'all ride to that warehouse, 4 of y'all, he done recruited you, and you done recruited 3 other dudes based off what this dude done told you. All 4 of y'all going to the feds. Because soon as you pull up to that warehouse with them guns, in that rental car they bought with that phone they gave you, and you ride, and boy, you smoking on that good green, and you listen to all that drill music, because you trying to get hyped up, you know how to get there in your mind. You trying to say, boy, I need to be on point. So you listen to drill music, smoking that, whatever you smoking on. Soon as you pull up to that warehouse, they ain't gonna even let you get out the car. The feds gonna start swarming. And then y'all gonna be like, boy, I ain't doing nothing. I just came over here, man. My cousin stay around the corner and I know I was looking for a job. Ain't nothing you can say. They coming to get you. And guess what? When they bring you into them feds, they gonna charge you with all 100 keys. And that's a life sentence. I'm showing you how quick your life can be gone in a millisecond. Because soon as you roll up to that warehouse with the anticipation of robbing it for 100 keys, because they gonna make sure what the feds, they do it good too. They don't rush it. They might be talking to you for a whole week planning this robbery. So they ain't gonna rush it. It ain't gotta be one day. It ain't gotta be that quick. They might talk to you 2 weeks to plan the robbery. I'm talking about back and forth. You want to do the dude, however y'all going through it, y'all talking or whatever. And he getting everything together. He getting the guns, he getting the car, he getting everything together. You don't gotta do nothing, Jet. You ain't gotta pay for nothing. You ain't gotta do nothing. All you gotta do is say, yes, I'm with it. And you gonna get a life sentence. If not a life sentence, you're going to get no less than 20 years. And you're going to say, man, we ain't robbed nobody, man. They already know what your intention was because they set up the robbery. It's never going to be 100 keys in the warehouse. You're never going to get inside the warehouse. They're going to stop you before you get to the door. Before y'all even jump out the car with that thing, they come swarming in. Boom, 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 boom. Get down, get on the floor. Get down. They got that thing on you. And your life gone just like that, bro. Just for saying yes to go on a crime. And probably some people that I knew, man, that I bumped up and did their cases, man, they didn't even understand really what they was getting into. They understood the money part. They were just saying, yeah, because they was like, all right, well, let's do it. And they didn't really, you know what I'm saying, understand what was really going on. All they just knew it was 100 keys in the warehouse. And end up getting a quick 20 years just for that, man. You got to be careful out on these streets. There's traps out here on these streets, Jit. Real traps. Real traps, Jit. And I ain't just talking, bro. Like I say, I did law library. I read cases after cases on this here. This is called stash house robberies. Read it. Feds will set you up on a stash house robbery. Again, they gonna provide the vehicle. They gonna provide the hotel space if you need it. They gonna provide the guns. They gonna provide a little bit of pocket change so you can ride around, get gas and all that day, eat and all, however you want to eat, until leading you up into the robbery. As soon as you come with your crew, ready to stick up this stash house, boom, they gonna hit you. And then when you get in the court, you're gonna be like, man, that's entrapment, man, because they're gonna say, you had a propensity. Propensity means you had that in your blood. You was ready, you was geek. You had a propensity to commit this violent crime. And that's how they justify it. They're going to say, we don't care that we recruited you and we did all the legwork to get you to do it. You didn't turn it down. So by you not turning it down, that means if it was for real, you would have went through with it and did everything that needed to be done. So you had that propensity to commit a crime. And that's how that stick. Read it, Jit. Stash house robberies. It's a lot of dudes up in that feds. Man, that's nobody. I'm talking about, I ain't never seen big money. I ain't never seen no dollar in their life, man, like that. And was just risking their life, man, on the opportunity that they got from off the street. Or a friend came and brought them in, on the lick. And the lick turned out to be, fugazi. I'm trying to tell you, young Jit, I'm just trying to teach you about the traps. Because see, y'all be out here thinking everything all gravy when you popping them bottles, when you got your big chunk on, you got all your females around you, you know what I'm saying? Everybody calling your name. You think it's all good. That come with a price, young Jit. A big price. And sometimes a lot of y'all ain't willing to pay that price. So be careful what you're doing out there, man. Fed Talk Friday. We got more and more to go, man. I'm just rubbing the surface on this here thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, bruh, it get deep. It get really deep. And shouts out to all my Fed homies out there, man, all my guys. I'm letting y'all know, man, I'm going to expose a little bit of this stuff, man, on Fed Talk Friday, man. And I'm going to get some of y'all on here, and I'm going to get some of y'all on here to explain some of the cases and stuff that y'all seen and been through or y'all heard. Because I know, man, being up behind that wall, man, we done seen a lot of people come through there, man, on some crazy cases. And that's one of them. And like I told you, they going to make sure they give you enough dope. They going to make sure you know how much dope you going to get. So if they say 100 keys, they want you to know you going to get 100 keys, right? And you going to shake your head. Yeah. Let's go up in there. Let's do it. So they know once you responsible in court for that 100 keys, that drive your sentence all the way up. Because, you know, it's based on one thing about that sentencing chart. And sentencing in the Fed is based on how much dope you responsible for. And that's how you get sentenced, you know what I'm saying? And 100 keys will give you a life sentence. So even though you didn't rob for 100 keys, even though it was a fake robbery, you still responsible for what you was going to try to get. And they're going to hold you to that when you get in court. And you're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to, you know, they're going to give you whatever they give you. You know, some people, I seen 20 on some of them cases, but, you know, up to life. It's for real, Jet.